A very good morning to you from the north side of Indianapolis. It is time for the championship game of the 2022 Indy Beep Ball Bonanza. It is the Indy Edge who will battle the Atlanta Chaos, the two winners from pool play a day ago. Alongside Darnell Booker, my name is Greg Rakestraw. Thank you so much for joining us. Darnell, the head coach of the Indy Thunder. This Atlanta Chaos team beat the Indy Thunder in the morning game. Both teams finished 2-1 in pool play yesterday, so the Chaos ends up being the winner of that pool. The Indy Edge, a very talented team, the winner of their pool. Darnell, what do you expect from this one this morning?
Good morning, Greg. Glad to be with you this morning. I expect a high-level game. This is a high-level game. We'll see what the Chaos's defense against the Edge's offense, but I expect a good game by both teams. Both teams haven't been here before. This is new, uncharted water for both teams being in a championship game. So I think we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how we settle in today.
Again, for those of you that are familiar with beep ball or perhaps watched our broadcast yesterday, some of this will be remedial. But again, I'll do my best in a couple of minutes to explain what you're about to see. Again, all these athletes are blind or visually impaired. Some have some level of sight. However, for the purposes of the competition, you will see shades, you'll see blinders. Everyone will be completely blind on the field of play or at home plate. 6 players in the field, 6 players comprise a batting order. You see the ball being pitched back and forth there on our current camera shot, a little bigger than a softball. It makes noise. You'll hear it constantly beeping during the course of the game. There is no running around the bases. You run to a base. That would be first base or the equivalent of third base. Those bases will also be making a noise. You'll hear that during the course of the broadcast as well. Once that ball is hit and in the field of play, the base goes off. It's simply a race. Can the batter touch the base before the fielder makes the play, has possession of the ball, and again able to kind of lift it up in the air to signify the ball is caught, play is over. Now, the replays that you will see on our broadcast today also will be used by our home plate umpire in terms of Jaden Price. One thing that is different this year is that in the past it has been 4 strikes. For this event, it is 3. Darnell, tell us about that. What was the feedback like a day ago, going to 3 strikes and 1 pass instead of 4 and 1?
Sure, Greg. The 3 strike for this tournament is basically getting some data. Right now in the NBBA, it's 4 strikes and a pass. But some tournaments that we've been around the country this year is going to the 3 strike and 1 pass to get some data to see where it is, because right now it's going to be coming up for a rule proposal where they go from 4 strikes to 3 strikes and keep the pass ball in, to make it more traditional to baseball and regular softball.
Ball has to travel at least 40 feet in fair play. That's one of the lines you will see on the field. If a ball in the air travels past 170 feet in territory, again, there is a second line for that. That is a home run. That is worth 2 runs. If one of our athletes in the field of play is able to catch a ball, that is automatically the end of the inning, no matter whether it's 0 outs, 1 outs, 2 outs, or 3. Again, that is very rare in the sport because most players are going to make a play by getting on the ground, trapping the ball in front of them, and then grabbing it to signify the end of the inning. No such thing as balls and strikes in this sport. It is strikes and a pass. You get 1 pass per at bat, and the player pitching to you is a teammate of yours. They are trying to throw home runs or runs, not strikeouts in this sport. With that, we'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, starting lineups and first pitch of our championship game. And if that guy can hit it like that, the Indy Edge are in for a good day. Back with more in a moment here on the ISC Sports Network.
Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to travel around their homes and towns. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired. Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to keep living at home. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired.
Your life is on the go. Now your viewing habits can be on the go. With the ISC Sports Network app, Your team is at your fingertips. You can download years' worth of content from the ISC Sports Network library. High school, college, special events, weekly and monthly shows, wherever you find your favorite app. And you can always find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
Almost starting here in our Indy Beep Ball Bonanza Championship game. Thanks to our friends at Opti Park, our pregame show sponsor. Looking for a place to hold your next event or get together? Come to Opti Park, located in the heart of Broad Ripple. Opti Park is home to baseball, birthday parties, family reunions, and playground fun. Opti Park is a community park, not a city park, and run by volunteers for over 60 years. Check out their calendar of events at OptiParkIndy.com. Contact to make a reservation or make a donation to help keep the park open to everyone. OptiParkIndy.com, provided by the Optimist Club on the north side of Indianapolis, proud sponsor of the Indy Thunder. Let's listen in. Jaden Price with our pregame meeting today.
All right, so as soon as I say set in the field, no more talking. Everything's done. All right, if you're in the field, no more talking. No spotters talking, nothing, okay? Other than that, y'all have any questions for me? Okay, so Atlanta Chaos, y'all farther away from home, so I'm gonna let y'all call this in the air. I got an NBBA coin. One side's the NBBA logo, the other side is Jim Quinn's head. So Jim Quinn's head's gonna be heads, the NBBA logo's gonna be tails. So call it in the air. I'll let you know what's in the air. It's in the air. You will take home? Okay. All right.
That's not good.
All right, so with that, let's explain what the importance of the coin toss is. In beep ball, no true home team or road team here, so with that, it is a coin toss, and if you win the coin toss, you want the last at bats. So the Atlanta Chaos will be the home team, which means the Indy Edge will bat first. Now, Darnell, let's talk about some of the rules that Jaden was setting in terms of, hey, silence is golden, as you well put yesterday. Explain that to our viewers.
Yeah, basically, this is a quiet sport, and, just to use an analogy of tennis, but because of while the play is going on, we always say applause is necessary, but silence is golden. So that means the defense can focus on tracking the ball, and the batter can focus on honing in on that random beeping base. So that's when Jaden was saying, once he's saying set in the field and no talking, just everything is quiet until the play is over.
All right, so with that, again, this is, so cool in terms of what these athletes are able to do without the benefit of sight while teams are getting set here in a matter of moments. Darnell, if you will give me kind of a brief history of what you have done in this sport.
Well, basically, like I said, I've been around the sport since 1985, played competitively for 12 years, and this is just a passion of mine. Started the Indy Thunder in 2000. Then just like I said, I'm also now the first vice president of the National Beep Baseball Association, which I oversee the World Series, running the tournament for the next couple of years. So this is a very labor of love, a passion of mine, and I always like to see blind and visually impaired athletes succeed on and off the field, and make sure they can have that competitive juice and fire that all the other able-bodied athletes have in our country.
So we are televising the championship game. We televised one of your team's pool play games a day ago. Again, in total, there are 8 teams that are playing here. Yesterday, we saw the Indy Thunder, the Chicago Comets. Today, the Indy Edge, as well as the Atlanta Chaos. Other teams that are playing include the Gateway Archers. Who else?
Gateway Archers out of St. Louis, New Jersey Titans, the Austin Blackhawks, the Cleveland Scrappers. So that's the salute of visual 8 teams that are playing.
And again, what the umpire is doing is making sure that everyone is on a level playing field in terms of not being able to see any of the action around them. Walk me through
what you're seeing right now that they were lined up there is called a blindfold check.
Yep.
And you didn't see that yesterday, but in a championship caliber type game, they will line all the 6 players that are going out on defense on the line, and then they'll have the 2 umpires. They just tell them to lift their head and make sure that their mask is on properly, and that they just go through a blindfold check. That's what you really see sometimes in a high-level championship caliber game.
So with the Indy Edge coming to the plate first, let's show you their batting lineup for today's game. Corian White will be leading things off. He is followed by Nick Mulhern. Corey White will bat third for the Indy Edge. Justin Holland will bat fourth. Aaron C. will bat fifth. Mark Morris will bat sixth. Again, sometimes you'll see potentially a different player in the field versus one that will be in the batting lineup. And Corian White and Corey White are two players I know you know very well.
Very well. These guys are super talented offensively. They have a lot of speed. So we'll see what happens this morning. So, yeah, with Corian leading it off. So Corian has that championship caliber offensive skills.
Kyle Kennedy is the pitcher and one of the coaches for the Indy Edge.
All right, set the field. Bases, please.
You're hearing the base check is what you're hearing right now.
Play ball.
And with that, we are about to get started. Strike.
Right there. And the time they're getting their timing down, like I said, it's the timing that the pitcher and the batter.
Pass.
So he took a pass there, so he knows where he's focusing on that cadence with Kyle.
Ball fouled up. Caught, but again, that's no problem in
Ball,
this
no.
in this sport. John Boggs, by the way, is the catcher for the Indy Edge.
Like I said, so here's where we'll see. This is a money pitch here coming up. You know, a full count, a pass ball, 2 strikes. We'll see what happens right here.
And yes, in this sport, folks, a full count is 2-1 or 1-2, depending on how you want to read it. Ground ball. That is a foul ball. And again, we went through this yesterday. A ball can land in fair territory and turn foul, but just like in baseball or softball, if it does so before it reaches a base, it is a foul ball.
Correct.
If it turns foul after it has passed the base, that ball's in fair territory.
Exactly. So like I said, it can stay fair and trickle foul right before it gets to that base. It's a foul ball. Past the base, fair.
And you'll see the catcher oftentimes assist the batter back to the plate, and assist the batter in terms of lining up properly.
Correct.
Set in the field.
Because like I said, even when it's a fair ball, foul ball, the blindfold, the shade stays on until after the play is after the batter's batted.
Swing and a miss. So a strikeout for Corian White. There's one away for the Edge.
Now, the next batter here with Nick Mulhern. Nick and Kyle have been knowing each other since high school. They both went to Center Grove High School. That's where they're from in Greenwood. And Nick and Kyle has a really good chemistry together. And so, yeah, it's just like I'm sure Kyle can pitch to Nick in his sleep.
Nick with 9 runs yesterday. And both these teams played 3 times a day ago. It's either a run or an out. Potentially a 2-run home run can be hit. That's pretty easy to explain and basic in this sport. Foul ball, 1 strike.
As you see, the timing is right there between these two guys.
Contact to play. And sliding into the base save. And Nick elects to slide feet first. This might be the first time I've seen that.
Yeah, as long as you get to that bag, and whatever, as long as you get to that bag in any fashion, you can slide into it, plow over it, touch it with your hand, as long as you make contact with that base before the fielder tracks the ball and holds it up.
And again, we will do our best to show you this split screen every time. And again, that is also what we will show to our umpire if needed. We had 2 plays that were replays yesterday. And in both scenarios, the call that was given originally stood.
Here we go.
So here's Corey White.
Yeah, Corey, he has home run power.
Right.
Well, he was certainly swinging for the proverbial fence on that one.
Yeah, another Corey and Corian, good athletes.
There's the pass.
So now they're in sync, so Corey knows, you know.
Contact made, foul ball. And again, you saw him tap his thigh as the ball went by.
Right.
That is all timing.
All about timing. They work on that repetitively throughout the whole offseason, getting their timing down. Because like I said, Corey and Corian just moved from our team over to the edge, and that's, like I said, they just wanted to just see how it goes to feel like, I guess, free agency. But, hey, it is what it is, and these guys are just great athletes.
Swing and a miss.
Out.
And that's it, 3 strikes. The second strikeout. Now Justin Holland will come to the plate.
Justin, he has home run power as well, because in this league he has hit home runs before, and he originally started up with the Atlanta Chaos. So, like I said, again, this edge roster is stacked.
Thank you.
8 runs scored yesterday for Justin. Foul ball. And I so appreciate, obviously not done for our benefit, it's done for the athlete's benefit. But Jaden Price with the immediate calls makes our crew's job very easy.
Oh, yeah, Jaden, like I said, like I said, the lineage of a generation, his father, his grandfather, and him are NBBA officials, top officials.
Ground ball, fair ball, sprint to the bag, trying to get it in time, safe.
Yeah, they like I said, Atlanta's got to shore up their defense. That was a ground ball. Those have to. It's about communication. Right now, the edge is up a couple runs here, and we'll see what we can.
And you explained this yesterday pretty well, Darnell. You actually, in this sport, want the ball to be in the air because it gives you more time to get to the base, because in theory, it'll take longer for the fielders to track the ball, correct?
Correct, because you always want to have line drives or put the ball in the air.
Please.
Because anything on the ground is fieldable, and that's really going to be that could have some bang plays there.
So you want some modern analytics baseball uppercut swings is what you're telling
some
me.
Golf type swings.
So here's Aaron C. Took a pass on his first pitch. We saw Aaron cranking one in warm-ups and smacks this one as well. Fielder hops over him, run to the base. He's safe.
That's a tough. I mean, you cannot give the edge free outs. You cannot give them that. Like I said, the edge, like I said, has a stacked, talented team. You can't give outs away like that. That's just the ball taking a little funny hop, but that ball, again, should have been fielded by the Chaos. So we hope that, taking the right angle or whatever. But, yeah, Aaron, like I said, the edge is just taking advantage of what they get.
It's Cody Jeffries that was the player that was the unfortunate recipient of a bad bounce.
All right, send the field.
Here's Mark Morris.
Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Mark is very fast. He's got fast wheels, as they call him. He can get to the base pretty quick.
Right.
He can get to the base pretty quick.
So already the edge have batted through their lineup.
And when Mark originally started, he started with the Thunder. And then, again, he
in fair territory, and runner is safe.
You can't teach speed. The edge up and down their lineup has a ton of speed.
So 4 runs scored, 2 strikeouts so far. Corian White will come back through here for the Indy edge. Corian.
All right, send the field.
And strikeout victim first time up. The 10 runs scored yesterday, most for any of the Indy Edge players.
Here we go.
And was it Corian or Corey that homered here last year?
Corey.
Okay. Corian belts this one. And this one, again, hops past a player. He's safe.
Yeah, the edge is jumping out on these guys. And it's got to just make some. The edge is just really jumping out on these guys. Kyle's getting the timing down. He's settling in. So Chaos just needs this one out to get him off the field and come in and try to make some noise, make up this deficit. Like I said, the edge is super talented.
Edge had 21 runs in their opening game yesterday against Austin. 14 against New Jersey. And 14 against the Austin Scrappers, to give you an idea of
Cleveland Scrappers.
Cleveland Scrappers.
Thank you.
I got the rules figured out. Team names I'm working on.
Yeah, we'll get you. I got your back.
So here's Nick Mulhern. And run scored on a ball to right field just a few moments ago. Does not take these teams long to bat through the lineup. Ground ball, left side, and safe again.
Just the ball is still on the ground. They got to get it up off the ground. These are plays that, like I said, should be making. Like I said, Atlanta's been in existence for 3 years. There's still a process going on with those guys. They're here. Their bats were jumping yesterday, and when they played the Thunder, and like I said, it was just today. You know, every like in regular baseball, every day is.
What defensive drills are you working on with your team on a regular basis?
You're always working on laying out, lining things up, working on angles, how to sort of read the ball off the bat. Like when those are types of things where we're working on and communicating.
Bases, please. Thank you.
All right, so catcher was kind of pointing towards a target with this pitcher. Kind of walk me through what you saw there.
What I saw there was like Kyle wanted John to put the ball in a certain spot where Corey can hit it.
Popped up, and again with that speed, you just saw why we say get the ball in the air.
Get the ball in the air, right. And right, it's Kyle is just, he is so locked in right now. It's just ridiculous. Like I said, they got it. The edge, because the edge is locked in right now. Kyle is locked in on his batters, putting the ball right where he wants it to be, and serving it up right on the platter.
Well, 9 batters to the plate so far. 7 runs scored.
Thank you.
No outs in the field just yet. Swing and a miss. Justin Holland at the plate. That was a pass. Seen a few of those first time through, not so much the second time through for the Indy Edge batter. Again,
that was hit in
popped
the air.
up, not foul territory.
Oh, that's what you want. That ball in the air, That's what you want.
By the way, does not count when the catcher catches it. By
Exactly,
the way.
does not
just
count.
to point out for a second time.
Exactly. No, because the catcher's on your own team does not count.
You're not dissuaded from grabbing those. You're speeding up the pace of play.
You're right. Let's keep the game moving.
2-strike count. Again, popped up, but it will not reach the 40 feet in distance.
Timing is very good. Timing is locked in. Timing is locked in.
You get as many foul balls as you need. Same as baseball or softball. You're not going to be out on a 2-strike foul. That hit the batter in the batter's box at the plate. Dead ball.
Yeah, their timing's right there. So Atlanta's going to have to field this ball to get out of the inning.
Another foul ball. The lengthiest at bat we have seen so far. Really over the last couple of days as far as our cameras are concerned.
Oh, that was hit in the air.
But that'll turn foul.
Another foul ball. There, Justin, just another foul ball.
Justin's getting his workout in this at bat.
Oh, yeah. And this tests the stamina. Like, you can have so many foul balls. You're tired. You're back at the plate. You got to take your deep breath. And, you know, he's got 2 strikes on him. And this is where the cardio comes in. And, like, you can foul off so many plays. And we'll see what happens here.
Well, the weather conditions absolutely pristine this morning. Doing a base check.
Thank you.
What you're hearing in the background. Swing and a miss.
Batter's out.
Inning is over. 7 runs score for the Indy Edge. Today's game on the ISC Sports Network, presented in part by Kane and Abel Orientation Mobility Services. Take a person's arm and they will lead you around the block. Give a person a cane and it will lead you around the world. So the Atlanta Chaos come up in a 7-0 deficit. What's going through Coach Cody's mind as his players come to bat for the first time?
Well, one batter at a time. We know that Atlanta has bats. They just got to get it back one. They can't get it all back at once. Just one batter at a time. Trim the lead. Focus on your defense. But right now you're just talking about one batter at a time, one play at a time. Get it going. And Cortez is an up-and-coming pitcher, you know. And Cortez knows his batters. They're just going to have to do it again. He's telling his team, one run at a time, guys. And, you know, it's a lot of game to be played.
Let's give you the batting lineup for the Atlanta Chaos. Richie Flores will lead things off. Richie had 6 runs scored yesterday. Cody Jeffries bats second. Garrick Scott third. Alfonso Harrell bats fourth. The A-Train, Adrien Templin, will bat fifth. And Roy Cody Jr. will bat sixth.
Son's coach. You know, that's a son coach thing. And but the top of the order looks pretty good. Jeffries there is a really good hitter. And so we'll see what the Chaos has. Like I said, yesterday their bats were jumping.
Pitcher, by the way, lines up 20 feet away from home plate. And we saw a couple in the Indy Thunder game yesterday, where if the pitcher is hit, it's a dead ball.
Correct. And if the count is 1-0, the count stays the same.
Here's Richie Flores. Waiting for the fielder to get set. When I see Cortez there at the pitcher's mark, I'd be wearing a glove too. That's my best line of defense.
All right, bases, please.
I saw the pitcher for the Gateway team was wearing the full catcher's helmet.
Full gear.
Yep.
Yeah. See if the Chaos can get something started and get on the board here. They can't go 1, 2, 3.
Swing and a miss. As far as runs scored yesterday, Atlanta 13 against the Thunder, 11 against the Chicago Comets, and 6 in a win against Gateway. And it was that win that got them into this game.
No. But basically, the Chaos went 2-1 like the Thunder went 2-1. So the Chaos won on head-to-head against the Thunder. So
a little bit of a pause because of the airplane flying overhead. Foul ball.
Right, now they're starting to get locked in. Again, it's very important that the Chaos get on the board psychological. It's very important they get on the board because if the edge comes up and they're not able to get on the board, the floodgates could really open.
Contact made.
Oh.
Well hit with a foul ball.
Cortez is getting locked in with Richie.
Keith Martin, one of the spotters, tracks that ball down for the Indy Edge. So many volunteers are involved with all of these teams to make this possible.
We always say without volunteers, this sport cannot happen because the volunteers are our eyes, and they are very helpful to the teams.
Coach Cody behind the plate as the catcher. Swing and a miss.
It looks like a foul tip.
A foul ball, it's just enough.
Looks like he got a piece of it.
Not that out. All right, so leadoff strikeout for Flores. There's one away. Cody Jeffries now will come to the plate. Cody was the leading run producer yesterday for the Atlanta Chaos. Had 8 runs over the course of 3 games.
Bases, please.
Cody
Thank
Jeffries
you.
here, he's
Here we go.
big time talented. He's very talented, very good hitter, just really, really talented. And you can see he has a really good swing. Just finding him.
The ball's got to travel 40 feet and must stay past that 40-foot line to be in the field of play. Swing and a miss.
Right there.
How much conversation do batter and pitcher have during the course of the season as far as, hey, this is where I want you to put the ball?
A little bit. They always communicate back and forth, and it's just, oh, that was popped.
Solid contact left side. Fielder has it.
I tell you, that was a bang play. The ball was hit really good, but again, like I said, but the defense was right there.
That was Corey White that made the play in the field. Take a look. Split screen technology that we have, and again able to elevate it just as Cody Jeffries was sliding into the base.
And as you saw how Corey laid out and it was making himself long to reach for that ball and pick it up.
Are we setting the field?
Here's Garrick Scott.
Bases, please.
Had 3 runs scored yesterday.
Thank you. Here we go.
Talked about the Atlanta Chaos needing to avoid going 1, 2, 3. Here's the guy that has to do it.
Yep, you have to get something out of Garrett Scott here.
Elbow.
Sprays that one foul. That's one of the spotters you hear telling the fielder, say, after I saw the first swing, this is what to expect. Swing and a miss.
All right, now this is a. We'll see what's going on here. Like I said, it's just really critical that the Chaos get on the board.
Foul ball.
We heard the tip there, so they're right there in sync. Let's just see if we can get something here.
Ground ball. That'll pass the 40-foot line. Run to the base, and he'll get there.
They are on the board, and those are the type of plays, again, sometimes that's called right in the dead zone, because you see nobody really came to the ball, so sometimes you find those dead zone spots there, and that's where Garrett put it at, and Garrett legged it out and got a run for the Chaos.
I got you, love it.
So 7-1. Alfonso Harrell due up next.
Let's see if Alfonso can keep it going, but it was just real critical that the Chaos get on the board.
Bases, please.
7 runs scored yesterday.
Thank you. Here we go.
See what we have here coming up.
Strike.
Swing and a miss.
Timing's good, just I think the little location was off there. So, but Cortez, he's an up-and-coming pitcher. He'll get it together.
Strike.
So 2 strikes. Does have 1 pass remaining. Contact made, but in foul territory.
They're setting themselves up. That's how they line themselves up with the bat and the plate. You see that, then they're step off, and they're lined up perfectly.
This one skied towards left.
Play is made.
And safe.
Did not have to go. Again, good speed by Alfonso. The edge was all around it, but just couldn't get the ball up in time. Atlanta's got a couple of runs here to stem the tide up from the edges. 7-run put out in the top.
Drain Tompkin now coming up. Take a look at the last play. Field a little wet this morning, playing so early in the day. Betting in this game is played so early to allow teams to then travel home.
Yeah, we have an awards ceremony afterwards and get them out of here at a decent time. Check out the hotels because a lot of these teams flew in. Some have a long drive ahead of them. That's why we go so early on Sunday morning.
Pass.
That was the pass. A-Train with 3 runs scored yesterday.
Right.
1-1.
Right.
Quick swing. Ground ball. Left side. Past one fielder. And
okay, we're gonna have looks like we're gonna get a ball game here. The Chaos came off the mat. We have 3 runs scored in this inning so far, so that's really good stuff by the Chaos. They were really in a deep hole there, first 7-0, and they come in and get 3 right now. So there's a lot of game to be played, and it's looks out to me it's gonna be a very competitive game here.
Roy Cody Jr. at the plate.
All right, send the field.
There's 2 runs scored yesterday.
Thank you. Here we go. Pass.
There's the pass.
Get his timing down.
Right.
And it was for the batter. They always got to help the pitcher. It's very important to have a consistent swing, so they can the pitcher knows where to put it at all the time. So it's real important to have that consistent swing.
Foul ball.
Foul ball. 2 strike count. Has to swing on this one.
Right.
Swing and a miss.
Batter's out.
So that is the end of the inning. So 3 runs score for the Atlanta Chaos, and after 1, Indy Edge have a 4-run advantage. Back with more of this championship game after this on the ISC Sports Network.
I'm Danny Wayne Beamer, Program Manager of the Elder Blind Program at the Will Center in Terre Haute, Indiana. I introduce the NFB Newsline to seniors in 13 southwestern counties in Indiana. I also utilize the NFB Newsline for my radio station public affairs shows. The NFB Newsline. Experience it today.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
We are the nation's blind, and we read NFB Newsline.
Brewer Jim's at home.
That ball wiggles in and into the back of the net.
A little fireworks in the first half.
Throw it up for Tillman.
Whoa, my goodness. 122.60 for Penn.
What a swim! 6 of them.
Indy Edge coming to bat here in inning number 2. They lead at 7-3. Greg Rakestraw is along with Darnell Booker on the ISC Sports Network. Justin Holland will lead things off here for the Edge. As they bat 4, 5, and 6. They sent 9 to the plate last time up.
Let's see what transpires here.
Thank you. Here we go.
After the base check, we're good to go.
We'll see if the Chaos can carry that momentum over to the defensive side.
Pass on pitch 1 again, that tap of the
thigh there
as the ball goes by. That's in fair territory, and that even past the 170 line is safe.
So Justin has home run capability. That's where you want it, in the air. because he was halfway down the base before the ball landed.
I have talked over the last couple days about
I think that was Aaron C.
And it was Aaron C. You're correct.
And Aaron has good home run power as well. And Aaron used to play football before he lost his sight, I think, at Franklin College. Aaron C. did. So he's used to the quote-unquote tackling dummy to football. He used to play little football at Franklin College.
Mark Morris.
Thank you.
Mark, a run scored last time up. Aaron C. joining Nick Mulhern as those that have scored twice. Ground ball, right side, race to the bag. And as you said, Mark is flying.
Yeah, just speed, lots of speed. Got to be on those balls. You got to, as a defender, once that spotter calls a zone, you got to really get to that ball as quick as possible. But Mark has a lot of speed.
So 12 batters to the plate, 9 have scored so far for the Edge.
And Mark ran track and field in high school at the Indiana School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. So good athlete.
Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
Here's Corian White. Scored the 5th run for the Edge. Struck out to start the game. Ground ball, left side. Fielder has it lined up, but safe.
Too much speed.
That was close.
Not sure if that's going to see if they want to take a look at that because the defender's back was turned, but there was a field umpire. But not sure if they want to take a look at that.
I'm not sure he had it firmly in his possession.
Right, exactly, away from his body, because you have to have it up and away from your body.
Call that run number 10.
I set the field. Faces, please.
So after a 7-run first, 3 more in the second. We're a couple of runs away from having the 12-run rule conversation.
Yes, we are. But it wouldn't take effect until after the chaos bats in their bottom half of the inning.
Copy that.
So we'll see what happens at their bottom half. So they get a shot to get it under 12.
Here's the pass. Mulhern has scored both times to the plate. You reference Aaron C.'s football background. Ground ball, left side. Mulhern hustling. He's safe.
Ball's on the ground. Got to get it up off the ground.
A rare reference Aaron C.'s football background because this is a team that looks like they spend some time in the weight room.
Well, we know Aaron does, and some of those guys can do that too. But like I said, yeah, these guys, like I said, they're all-around athletes, and they are in that weight room. And I know Aaron is.
Set the field. Please.
So here's Corey White.
Thank you.
The strikeout and a run scored last inning.
Go. Strike.
Swing and a miss.
Corey has a beautiful swing.
Pass. Open stance for Corey at the plate. Another ground ball. Left side. Again, Corey hustling down the line. He's safe. That's 5 straight runs for the Indy Edge. Partner, this is a murderer's row type of lineup at the Edge.
Absolutely, like I said, the Edge is totally stacked. They're one of the top 2 or 3 teams to win the World Series. I mean, they have all the pieces to do that. You know, they started their team in 2016, so they have all the ingredients to win a title. Let's just see if they can put it together at the World Series.
Well, I tried to say Justin Holland at the plate to start the inning. He wasn't. Now Justin Holland at the plate for the Indy Edge.
Bases, please. Please. Thank you.
In the base check. Justin coming to bat for a third time already in the game.
Right.
Swing and a miss.
And see, John, the catcher there, John is letting Kyle know like how far it was in, how far it was out. You kind of see these little things. They don't talk to. They just have little signs, codes, that between the pitcher and the catcher.
Double.
So 2 strikes.
Oh, that was really crank.
That's a fair ball. And nobody's tracking that one down.
Nobody. That was crank.
How often are you doing base running drills in terms of your team practice?
That's that's when you're outside. That's what the Thunder does. We implement that into our defense drills. Like I said, the last 10 or 15 minutes of practice, we'll go where Jared will be pitching, and they'll run the bases. You go 50%, 75, 80. We do some things like that. So base running is very important because sometimes with the bases are random, you may have to reverse your field when you thought first base was on, but third base was on. So base running is also very important in this sport.
All right, set in the field.
Here's Aaron C.
So first 6 batters to the plate have scored this inning for the Edge. And again, the 12-run rule in this sport. If this gets to 15 or more, the chaos would finish the second inning. If it is still 12 runs or more, explain then what would happen.
What happened is the Edge would stay in the field until from this. Now, right now we're in the second, so it would be the second, third, fourth, and fifth, and sixth innings. And Atlanta will just bat until they either have to catch up or pass them.
Ground ball up the middle and not in time.
On the ground. Like I said, the chaos, again, are going to have to get off the mat in the bottom of the second inning to avoid, it looks like, a 12-run deficit, more than a 12-run deficit. They're going to have to get some outs here, get off the mat, and then let's see where we stand.
7 consecutive batters have scored.
Wow, that's impressive by the Edge.
All right, set in the field. Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Morris has scored the first 2 times he's come to the plate today. This marks the 3rd trip through the lineup for the Indy Edge.
Strike.
And what makes this really, really impressive what the Edge is doing today, to me, their game changer is not even playing this weekend, Eric Rodriguez.
Strike.
And that's how deep the Edge is. Eric is not even playing this weekend. I guess the word was he got hurt in practice on Thursday, so they held him out this weekend because they have a tournament next weekend.
Pass.
Eric, one of your former players on the Indy Thunder.
Exactly. And so Eric should be back next weekend when we are in Bolingbrook.
Ground ball, left side. Fielders have it lined up and
that
close.
They might take a look at that, but we will see. But I'm not sure if they are or not. But I like to see that.
Let's take a look. Replays were off on that one, so replays are on a little bit different time on that one.
All right, set in the field.
They have ruled that as a run.
Bases, please. Thank you.
There is run number 15.
Thank you. Let's go.
And still no outs.
Nope.
Foul ball.
Still no outs, and Corey, like I said, they got a lineup that's ridiculous.
Strike.
Take a look at the last play.
That.
Yeah, again, I think that was an out.
I likewise agree with you.
Ground ball left side, and no doubt about
just
that.
Out
He's
of the
safe.
reach. Just out of the reach. You might see after a while here the Edge start making some substitutions just to get some at bats, and I think they feel confident when they put those guys out there when for the 3 outs. So we might see some substitutions here shortly with the Edge.
Again, we are in 12-run rule territory, but the Chaos have to come to bat in the second inning before that rule comes into effect. So
there you go.
We'll explain that properly at the conclusion of the inning, depending on what the Chaos is able to do. Now, first things first, the Edge have to commit an out, and then a couple more popped up. That will not reach the 40 feet distance. Foul ball.
As you see, Nick was pretty much right at the base. The ball was in the air. So yes, I mean the Chaos just got to focus on getting it out. Let's just focus, try to get it out, make some plays. Kyle, the pitcher, he's definitely a rising pitcher, one of the top 4 or 5 pitchers in the league. He's only about 22, 23 years old. Very good, very good pitcher.
And in this sport, you are trying to throw runs. Strike 2. Darnell, about how many teams are playing across the country at this juncture?
There's about 30 teams across the nation here in the country. All of them are active right now. Some are practicing. Like I said, there's a big tournament next weekend in Bolingbrook. Then they have the Beast of the East, which is later in June. And
ground ball, right side, and again easily safe.
Too much speed.
So make it 10 consecutive runs to start the inning for the Indy Edge.
These guys, looks like to me, these guys were ready for TV, the Edge was. So, but like I said, we'll see what the Cavs do. The Cavs just have to get off the mat, have to get it out.
Mulhern, the first Edge player to score 4 times in this morning's game.
Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
Line drive, left side. Fielder hops over him. And safe.
That's just tough for the Chaos. It was right there. The ball just hopped over him. Now sometimes what could happen if the Chaos can call a defensive timeout to kind of sort of ice the pitcher. But I'm not surprised there's not a timeout here by the Chaos to kind of get together and talk about their defensive strategy. But we haven't seen that yet. So
Set in the field. Bases, please.
So it's already a 15-run lead here in the top of the second. And again, there's no outs yet, which means I'm not sure there's an end in sight in terms of the Indy Edge batting.
Yeah, well, like I said,
that's good.
You might see some substitutions here soon. So
Justin Holland at the plate. His 4th time up. 2 runs scored and a strikeout.
Strike.
Timing, like I said, Kyle's just been locked in right from the start.
That was the pass. Pop straight up.
It's right there on it.
We see the 2 folks behind home plate. Who are they and what's their jobs?
We have the
there?
scorekeeper. They're keeping track of the scores, and we have the base operator, and their job is to when that pitcher says set, ready, pitch, or ready, ball, that switch, one of the switches turns on randomly. So that's what they are back there, are the scorekeeper and the base operator. And they're
swing and a miss. That's the first out of the inning. One away. And all outs so far, all 4 of them in this game for the Indy Edge, have been on strikeouts.
Let's see what Aaron can do. We'll see if the Chaos, they know they're going to have to be on their toes, put it into play.
Send the field. Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
They're asking him if the fielders were good with the ball in case it was a little silent, because if they wanted to change balls out, they could.
This is a pass.
Pass.
Aaron wants to get that pass hit, and he wants to get three cracks at it.
Fouled that one back.
Cue ball, no.
The 21, 14, and 14, the runs scored by the Edge yesterday. They brought their hitting shoes with them today.
Oh, they brought their hitting shoes with them since the last game against Austin, and this game here they picked up right where they left off yesterday.
That's another foul ball. 2 strikes.
Aaron's only been playing beep ball for 2 years, I think, or 3 years. So, and he's really caught on real well, working with Kyle, and like I said, getting the sport down. Like I said, he's used to seeing stuff when he was playing football. Now he's under the blindfold, and he's very competitive.
Left side, past the fielder. That's going to run for a while. So will Aaron. He's safe. And again, because of the early morning nature of the game, a little more dew on the ground. Ball's gonna scoot a little bit today.
And that's why I always say, when the ground is wet, make sure you have both hands on the ball, not just one. Both hands on the ball, and pick that ball up off the ground. And because we always say somebody will do the laundry. Just get yourself on the ground, get the ball up with both hands and away from your body.
A tremendous job by our ISC Sports Network crew. Let's thank Jordan Shue, Wes Wolf, Derek Schultz in the truck. Thank you very much to Rob Lynch, Daryl Tibbs, and Vincent Morales on our cameras this morning.
Now they're going to switch the ball out here.
They have literally beaten up the ball to a point where you have to switch it out. What does one of those cost these days, Darnell?
A beat ball costs $35 a ball. So, and you know, we go through a ton of them. So, and like I said, and then you can recharge them if they're real low. We have a 10-ball charger. A lot of the teams have 10-ball chargers. You can put them on there, and put them on there for about 9 to 10 hours for charging purposes. Some will get recharged, and some, you know, just it depends on how the ball is made.
Send the field. Bases, please. Thank you.
There's Mark Morris.
Thank you. Here we go.
He has scored all 3 times he's been to the plate.
Right.
Trying to join Nick Mulhern and Aaron C. with 4 runs in this morning's championship game. Ground ball, left side. And he's safe.
And you can see there, Greg, the ball went foul when it went past the base, so it was fair. So whether he did get a fair or a foul here. Wait a minute.
I believe he said fair. Let's see.
Let's take a look.
Again, there is a white line that indicates.
And
again, that was close.
that should have been a foul ball because I don't think it made it past the base.
I send the field.
So count that as a run.
Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
So ground ball here, down the left side.
He's out.
And that is an out. Play made by Alfonso Harrell. And there's 2 down.
Man, I saw your back straight up. I was like, Corian.
So second time that Corian White has been retired as an out. Well done by the guys in the field. So with that, we have come to the end of the inning. It is 20-3, Edge in front. We'll go to the bottom of the second after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to continue their employment. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired. Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to cook meals safely. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired.
Still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County.
Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last name.
Wabash has the lead for the first time today.
Said that was going to be a highlight reel.
Oh, baby. Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Hey, guys, take a knee. They're reviewing that last play. Not like you, I'll feel special. They have official
I told him to make sure he used it.
So 19-3 is the score. There was a one that we thought was an out that earlier in the inning or we thought was a run was actually an out. So the bottom of the second due up here. And here is the last play in the field. That was called as an out. So we'll show you that again. How do you see that one, Darnell?
He's safe.
I see him safe because the ball was
Yep.
on the ground.
Yep. And so they're going to go back to the Edge batting because he was deemed to be safe.
Because the ball looked like it was still there.
Yep. So 2 outs.
I can't believe it. Keep your shirt on, Richie.
And make it 20-3. And that's the first call we have seen overturned in our 2 days of broadcast here.
A little more history there. We saw Domino, the trivia question, first instant replay. Now a call that was overturned today.
So the lead expands to 17 now for the Edge. So Nick Mulhern at the plate. Jared Price, our umpire this morning. Kevin Johnston, we have a field umpire for this game as well. Fielders all getting set. Mulhern trying to make it 5 for 5 so far in this game. Getting everybody set up.
It takes the spotters to get them in their position.
Yep.
All right, we set in the field.
Coach Kennedy over doing some talking
Aces, please. Thank you.
on the Edge sideline.
There you go.
Launch.
Left side. Mulhern safe again.
Just can't get the ball up off the ground today. It's making it a long day at the office for the Chaos.
So they have already matched their highest run total from yesterday, and there have been a grand total of 26 batters to the plate.
That's, again, can't keep saying it enough. The Edge lineup from 1 through 6 is very stacked. I mean, it's going to be, like I said, tough to slow this team down. We'll see, because in Beaumont, Texas, where the World Series is going to be, it's going to be plenty hot. So we'll see how everybody, it's for everybody, so we'll see how that.
And the World Series are what dates?
July 24th through July 31st.
What are some of the foreign teams that are going to be involved in the World Series this year?
This year, due to, probably, I'm saying, financials, we usually have Taiwan, the Dominican Republic, but some strange reason, due to, like I said, fundraising funding,
sure,
those teams will not be able to participate.
So all-American teams.
Just on an all-American World Series. There'll be 18 teams participating in this year's World Series, and that's because even though there's about 30 teams registered in the NBBA, but again, there's about 18 teams have paid their World Series entry fees and getting ready to, and still fundraising as we speak to get to the World Series. So it'll be an 18-team World Series competition that whole week, latter part of July.
Swing and a miss. And that is the end of the inning. So once again, let's take a quick timeout. Edge gets a couple of extra runs after the replay challenge. 21-3, going to the bottom of the second. You're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
If you or someone you know is visually impaired or print challenged, the National Federation of the Blind has a resource you need.
I am a CFP practitioner, and I happen to be blind. I rely on NFB Newsline to keep me current with Wall Street Journal and the Financial Times.
Hoosiers can hear Indiana magazines, circulars, national magazines, and information from across the globe. Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
When a visit to the eye doctor ends in a diagnosis of blindness or visual impairment, Bosma Enterprises is there, providing low and high-tech tools that let adult Hoosiers keep living at home, and training that teaches people with vision loss how to cook meals, travel around their homes and towns, and continue their employment. Because the need for independence never fades, even when the sense of sight does. Bosma Enterprises. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org.
Today's game on the ISC Sports Network, presented in part by Bright Ideas Consulting. Your logo on everything under the sun. Located just down the road from North Central High School, 7425 Westfield Boulevard. They've been serving Broad Ripple and Indianapolis since 1983. All right, so run rule does not take effect yet. Run rule takes effect at the end of the inning. So we will have this with normal scoring rules. Then we'll kind of reset at the end of the second inning. To avoid being in run rule territory, the Chaos will have to score 7 times here in the bottom of the second.
That is a tall order with the Edge's defense and how they're prepared. So
here we go.
Let's see if the Chaos can get it started.
So Richie Flores, top of the lineup, due up through. Strikeout victim last time up. Swings and misses here. Strike 2. Swing and a miss. So strikeout victim for a second time today. Of the 3 putouts for the Edge in the bottom half of the first. 1 play in the field, 2 strikeouts. Cody Jeffries. He was the player that was a putout in the field of play.
And Cody will put the ball in play 9 times out of 10.
Bases. Thank you. Thank you.
And at this juncture, you don't worry about the score. You just worry about playing and trying to get runs back, and just don't even think about the score if you're the Chaos. Just 1 run at a time, 1 at bat at a time.
Ball sent towards right field. And that ball should play to run,
He's safe.
and it will.
Oh. Right, that's what I'm saying. When you look at that, I'm not sure he touched the base. He may have missed the base.
He just nicked it on the way by. So 4th run scored. You'll see the base at 3rd. Watch the base move. Just winged it on the way by.
Yes, with the fingertip. Just winged it. You're exactly right. Because just winged it. Good call by you.
I'd like to thank our cam operator, Station Airy, down on the 3rd base line for getting that shot for us.
Thank you. Thank you. Here we go.
There's Garrett Scott. He scored the first run of the game for the Chaos. Ground ball, right side, fair ball. And unfortunately, 2 players trip each other up. And
that's when you saw that there in the field, it's communication, because the player did not know where the other player was. That's why it's very important as defenders to communicate and to avoid that type of collision there. It was about communication. Like, if you know the ball is in your area, you know you have it, you have to communicate with your players.
That was Justin Holland and Corian White that collided. And clearly that was Justin Holland that got the worst of that collision. Well, he seems to be back up and going, and Corian is too. So coaches and spotters making sure players are okay. But this is the start the Chaos needed to have.
Exactly. And
Alfonso Harrell at the plate. Cortez has some tricks on the mound now, doesn't he?
Cortez he's an interesting pitcher because he likes to play with the ball and razzle-dazzle it a little bit.
Cortez may have spent some time with the Globetrotters before he pitched for the Chaos.
Good, Cortez, a great personality out there. Really good.
Foul tip. First strike. Game right at the hour mark at this point. That's how much time the Edge have set at the plate.
Batter's out.
And the batter's out. Second out of the inning. The first time Harrell's been retired today.
See if we can keep the rally going, and then if they fall short in this at bat, then we go into that 12-run rule.
Adrian Tamplin.
Send the field. Bases, please.
Scored the 3rd run of the game for the Chaos.
Thank you. Here we go.
Time out the swing. It's a pass first time by.
Pass.
Now again, batter must swing wherever the ball is pitched.
Foul ball.
Foul ball.
Right.
Strike called. 1-2. Contact made, but in foul territory.
Right there.
And again, umpire will call that out immediately. That way, runner knows that can.
Right, just straighten that out.
Right.
I mean, that was like, but Jaden was right on that call. Right, precise, and get it out.
Save the runner the trouble, the batter the trouble of heading down the base pass.
Foul
Foul
ball.
ball. Hear the encouragement from the Chaos sidelines.
Yeah, they're still involved cheering for the team.
Right now. All right, here we go.
Swing and a miss.
All right.
So let's take a quick break, and we will come back and reset what the Chaos are facing. So with that, let's go to break. We'll be right back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
I am a blind vendor, and one of the things that I truly miss is reading Vending Times magazine.
Hoosiers can hear Indiana magazines, circulars, national magazines, and information from across the globe. Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
It is a fantastic service.
Subscribe free to NFB Newsline today.
So as we come back, you say, wait a minute, this team was just at the plate. That's right. So this is the way this works. It is 21-5. We now technically go to the bottom of the third inning. Basically, does it break down to as simple as 12 outs to score 16 runs for the Chaos?
Correct. And they have, so they go, if they go out, they go, this is their bottom of the third.
Correct.
Bottom of the fourth, bottom of the fifth, bottom of the sixth. So, and then the edge has to stay out there for 12 outs.
Ball sent towards the right side. And the play made in the field. Batter's out. So second put out in the field for the Indy Edge. And there's one away. If the Chaos were to score, how would that play out?
If the Chaos were to score, that was just a run added to their total. But right now, that's just like one out in their bottom of the third inning.
Wait till 6. Oh, I wasn't switching players. No, I'm talking about wait till 6.
So Richie Flores
All right, we sit in the field.
due up here for the Chaos.
Bases, please.
So let's put it this way. If the Chaos were to score 16 runs within these 12 outs,
here we go.
Then what would happen?
The Edge would come back and get all their at-bats starting in that top of the the top of the third inning. So they would get their 12 outs.
Flores, ground ball, and caught. Batter's out. 2 down. Cody Jeffries now due up for the Chaos. Jeffries 1 for 2 today. Nick Mulhern made the play defensively for the Indy Edge.
Thank you. Thank you. Go.
Garrett Scott due up next, only a player that has scored multiple times so far for the Chaos. This one, skied, left side, spins in fair territory, batter safe.
Good hit by the Chaos there. Cody Jeffries.
And again, there's literally in that scenario nothing you can do. You saw the body behind the ball for the fielder.
Correct.
You couldn't do anything on that if you tried, dude. You made the perfect play. You did everything you could do. If he was slower, you'd have had him.
So Scott at the plate. And he's 2 for 2. Scored runs 1 and 5 for the Chaos so far.
Checking the plug here. They're checking the bases.
We go through this a handful of times during the game. A lot of technology involved to make this sport happen.
Jaden just going out there making sure the bases are plugged in. He'll redo the base check.
Sit in the field. Bases one more time, please.
We saw a base come apart yesterday because of the impact of the runner flying through it.
Foul ball.
Foul ball.
May not be super deep, but it's going to be hard.
Roy Cody Sr., the catcher. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. So that is the end of the 3rd inning. Now the Chaos will come right back to bat. Today's game presented in part by Cain and Abel Orientation Mobility Services. Take a person's arm and they will lead you around the block. Give a person a cane and it will lead you around the world. So we go right to the bottom of the 4th inning.
All right, set in the field.
1 run scored, or again, you've got 9 outs to score 15 runs here if you're the Atlanta Chaos. Here's Alfonso Harrell. Swing and a miss. Alfonso struck out his last time up. Scored a run in the 1st inning. Contact made. Left side. Past a couple of diving fielders. That should be a... Did he touch the base or not?
That might be a... May have to go to the replay on that one. That one I wasn't sure about. I think he's going to go to the...
Yep. The question is, did he hit the bag?
I think he did. Right there before. Oh.
And again, what moved the bag obviously was
the cord.
Was him sliding on the cord. So we're again, our umpire is giving you is watching the replay the way that you are. Can't really see if the bag moved there. Clearly the way he was diving back for it, he missed it. We're giving you the opposite angle here.
He's out.
And again, he is out.
He touched the cord only.
There you go.
There you go. Because the cord is not, he's got to touch the bag, not pull the cord.
Which is why we have replay for situations like that.
Exactly.
Yep, hang on.
Jaden here is checking. We turn because Corian, I think it's number 11. When he wanted to check his blindfold, he has to turn away from the plate.
So you can't orientate yourself visually as to. Yep.
Then he turns it back once, and then the umpire went out there and checked to make sure he was fine. So they have to raise their hand. They can't just touch their blindfold automatically. They just have to hold their hand up and ask for permission.
All right, bases. Not working.
I think the cord came out with the play down the first base line. Hence the reason for the delay.
Can you leave it on for me?
So 1 away in 8 outs to score 15 runs for Atlanta.
All right, center field. Bases, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Bases are ready. Here's Tamplin. Scored a run in the 1st, struck out last time up.
Pass.
There's the pass. Swing and a miss. Darnell, you've talked a lot about the big event in Bolingbrook next weekend. Any other events between that one and the World Series for your team?
No, we're just getting ready for that. Then we have a 4-team tournament in Champaign, which is like 2 weeks before the World Series. It's like a 4-team tournament.
Tamplin hustling down the line, and he's safe. Well, the A-Train gets his 2nd run of the game. Chaos have run number 7.
Yeah, we're just going to, like I said, work on our way because we got a big one next week in Bolingbrook. And then we also have a couple weeks off at just practice time. And then we'll go to Champaign the second weekend in July, or the 8th through the 10th of July. And then we come back and prep for the World Series.
Aces, please. Thank you. Thank you.
See Roy Cody Jr. kind of orientating himself. All right, here's where the sound's coming from. This is where I might be heading. He was retired as a put out in the field last time up. Struck out back in the first.
Yes.
By the way, I should point out that Darnell and I are calling this off a monitor about, a couple hundred feet. And our voices are going the opposite direction. You see a look at our camera position here. Ball in the field of play, and
he's out.
Batter's out. Good job by Mulhern in the field. 2 away.
And when you have this type of 12-run rule, Greg, the defense just can't. They got to focus on getting the putouts and getting just focus on that. They can't let their foot off the gas. They got to keep their focus because they know they're out in the field for a long period of time.
That is Pat Cody, by the way, that is helping Roy back to the dugout area.
Aces, please.
And here's Richie Flores looking for his first run of the day. He is 0 for 3. Pair of strikeouts, and they're going to put out in the field last time up. These games are 6-inning games. If you're just joining us, we are in run rule territory. It's 12 runs is what the run rule territory is, but what it really does is kind of fast forwards the game. It keeps the bat in the Chaos's hand in this scenario. Again, it's not about getting back within 12 runs. It's now about trying to get back in the lead.
Get back and try to just one run at a time. You got a huge mountain to climb.
So that is another strikeout, and that is now the end of the fourth. So the Chaos will go to the 5th inning. Today's game presented in part by our friends at Bright Ideas Consulting. Your logo on everything under the sun. They're located just down the road from North Central High School, 7425 Westfield Boulevard. They've been serving Indianapolis and Broad Ripple since 1983. To get here today, Darnell, I made a left at Bright Ideas Consulting.
And that's pretty awesome.
It's also where 75th Street ends. You kind of have to make a left to get to Westfield Boulevard.
Like you tell me one time, Indianapolis is easy to get around.
It's a big square.
Big square.
Darnell and I are locals, if you couldn't tell that already.
Right. Don't live too far apart from each other.
Home game for the two of us this morning.
Exactly.
It's Cody Jeffries. Foul ball. Cody and Garrett Scott have been the two players, along with Adrian Tamplin, that have scored twice today for the Atlanta Chaos. This is the 4th time up. Ground ball, foul ball.
As a runner there, even if you don't hear anything, you should run because you never know if that ball can trickle to the 40-foot line. But, and then you're anticipating, I hit it wrong. But I've seen plays in beat ball where they hit and they didn't think it'd go very far, but it went 40 feet, and it's like, okay, you got to.
Batter's out.
So the batter's out, and the outs are dwindling quickly for the Chaos here. They are down to 5 outs to score 14 runs. The math has not been in their favor all day. But again, as you've talked about, this is a young program, and the fact that they beat your team, the Thunder, yesterday is pretty monumental in their young history.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a good tournament this weekend, being in the championship game, beating some historic programs, organizations like the Comets, like the Thunder. They've had a good weekend. I know they didn't. This today was not a good day for them, a long day at the office, but they can build on this weekend and preparing them for the World Series.
Here's Scott. Ground ball. That clears the 40-foot line. Fielder's got it. What a play. That is Corian White. Ball ricocheted off him, able to catch it before it hit the ground. And there is a tremendous level of athleticism on this Indy Edge team.
Yeah, like I said, no doubt about that. They're deep, and they're one of the favorites to get the title. One of the favorites to win the World Series.
Thank you.
So here's Alfonso Harrell.
Here we go. Strike.
Alfonso out each of the last 2 times been to the plate. Strikeout in the second, and was a put out in the field last inning.
Strike.
Swing and a miss. How often do you have these 12-run rule games in the sport?
It just depends on the matchups. I mean, you know, there's a top echelon team and the teams that are just working their way to get to that point. So it just varies. It's not too often, but you do have it.
So 3 up, 3 down in the bottom half of the 5th. And now we fast forward to the bottom of the 6th. Certainly appears the Edge are on their way to the Beep Ball Bonanza Championship on this early Sunday morning.
Thank you.
And they played it today with their bats. Their bats were jumping. Kyle was locked in, and they got the ball in the air. There were some balls that were fieldable, but the bottom line is the Edge has depth, speed, and good chemistry, and you have those 3 working for you, you're going to be tough to beat.
So foul ball, 1 strike, 1 pass. Swing and a miss.
Batter's out.
Another strikeout. Well, these at-bats in quick succession have not kind of helped the chaos
That's
cause
not fair,
here.
but like I said, they've had a long day at the office. I mean, the Edge, when they got their bats going, it was just an uphill climb for the chaos. But the chaos will learn from this, and I expect them to be better when the World Series comes around. They will take this game and use it as a learning tool. They will get better. They will work on the things they got to work on defensively in the field.
There's the pass. Next 2 batters looking for their first runs of the day in Roy Cody Jr. and Richie Flores. Swing and a miss. And there are 3 other games that are taking place as we speak around the facility.
And those are the placement games. My team, the Thunder's playing for 3rd. They're playing the Blackhawks.
Line drive up the middle. Cody heading towards 3rd base. Ball hops over the fielder, and he's safe.
That's the same thing that was happening to the Chaos happened to the Edge right there when the ball took a funny hop over him, and Roy picks up a run. Roy Cody Jr. picks up a run because the ball can just bounce away from you, get away from you, jump over you. So that's what happened there to the Edge.
Just the 3rd run in kind of these fast-forwarded 4 innings for the Atlanta Chaos. And great look down the 3rd base line. And
like I said, it bounced over him. He knew, but he just didn't recover back in time before Cody scored the run.
The closer you get to that bag, get big.
Yeah, get big. That's right. Get big. Exactly.
Here we go.
Here's Flores looking to make it where all 6 Chaos players have at least scored a run today.
Strike.
Flores has struck out 3 of 4 at-bats today.
Strike.
2 strikes, does have a pass remaining. And a swing and a miss. So the Chaos down to a final out.
Tough day in the office for Richie Flores. Usually Richie put it in play because usually Cortez and Richie are connecting, but like I said, it's been a tough day for the Chaos all around.
All right,
6 runs yesterday, but 4 strikeouts today.
Bases, please.
Here's Cody Jeffries. He scored twice.
Thank you.
Struck out his last time up.
Here we go.
Conclusion of this one, we'll have the interview with the winning coach and a winning player. Won't be hard to find somebody that had a great deal of success for the Edge because all of their players were tremendous today.
There when you want it. Oh, foul ball, but that ball was high in the air. Just foul.
Chaos potentially down to a final strike here. There's the pass.
We go here.
Swing and a miss. Batter's out. And that's it. So the Indy Edge win the championship of the Indy Beep Ball Bonanza. They score 7 in the first, 14 in the second, and never have to come back up again as they win this one going away 21-8. Stay tuned. Post-game coverage comes your way next as you're watching the Indy Beep Ball Bonanza here on the ISC Sports Network.
Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to continue their employment. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired. Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to cook meals safely. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired.
Thousands of Indiana residents feel isolated from the world due to vision problems. Thanks to the National Federation of the Blind, visually impaired Hoosiers can hear newspapers, circulars, and magazines from across the globe.
I'm a Vietnam veteran. I'm blind. I read Stars and Stripes on NFB Newsline.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.
Subscribe free to NFB Newsline.
Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to travel around their homes and towns. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired. Bosma Enterprises gives Hoosiers with vision loss the tools and training they need to keep living at home. To give help or get help, visit bosma.org. Bosma Enterprises, visionary solutions for the blind and visually impaired.
Back for a final time this morning here at North Central High School. Greg Rakestraw, Darnell Booker will rejoin in a matter of moments here on the ISC Sports Network. Again, the Indy Beep Ball Bonanza won in crushing fashion by the Indy Edge. They defeat the Atlanta Chaos by a score of 21-8. Again, 7 runs in the first inning, 14 runs in the second inning. The Indy Edge ended up with having, 6 players score. Actually, make it 11 players score before there was an out recorded in inning number 2. Once we completed the second inning of play, then we went into run rule territory, 12-run lead. Then Atlanta basically had their at-bats fast-forwarded. They had the chance to try to score 14 runs to play catch-up, 16 runs run through to play catch-up. Over the course of 12 outs, they would tack on 3 more runs. So with only having a pair of at-bats today, the Indy Edge ends up winning by a score of 21-8. Runs scored for the Atlanta Chaos, 3 in the first inning, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 1 in the sixth, as they will finish as the runners-up today here at North Central High School. Again, Darnell Booker is efforting some guests, and they'll be joining us here for our brief post-game show. In terms of runs scored for the Indy Edge, Corian White with 4, Nick Mulhern with 5, Corey White with 3, Justin Holland with 2, and Aaron C. and Mark Morris, the 5 and 6 hitters for the Indy Edge, were never retired as outs today. They all went 4 for 4, and again, in this sport, that means you scored 4 runs, the way that things play out here. Looks like our guest that'll be joining us will be Nick Mulhern. And we'll also be joined by the pitcher as well as one of the coaches for this Indy Edge program, Kyle Kennedy. Those gentlemen are heading our way as we speak. We're going to get Nick Mulhern to join us here as our first player guest of the show. Nick, you got Greg and Darnell with you. Nick, congratulations. What's it like to win the championship this morning?
I appreciate it, guys. Feels really great. The second team win overall. Tournament history feels really good. Got a lot to work on, but it feels really good. We're getting our pieces together. Slowly but surely, but it feels good.
I was going to say, I'm not sure what you have to work on offensively. You scored 20 runs in 27 at-bats. Just your thoughts about the lineup that you guys have put together for this year's team.
Solid. It's going to keep getting better, though.
What's this feeling like in terms of being able to be out here and be competitive and to play at such a high level of this sport?
I mean, that's what beep ball's all about. Going out there, competing, making everybody better, not just yourself, but the other team. So that's what we're looking to do.
And I would assume that a World Series championship is the goal for you and your teammates this year?
Every year.
Certainly the case this year. Nick, congratulations.
Appreciate
Go
it.
enjoy the victory.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Again, Nick Mulhern and joining us here on the postgame show. We're now going to talk to the pitcher and, again, one of the coaches for this Indy Edge squad, and that being Kyle Kennedy, who is joining us now. Kyle, Greg Rakestraw, of course, you know Darnell Booker here too. Just your thoughts on the awesome performance your team put together this morning.
The boys showed how clutch they are. Honestly, the first inning I had some struggles, but we, as we usually do, 2 outs, we rallied, we put up 7, and then the next inning we put up 14 quick. So we did our jobs. The guys were phenomenal. They came in and did what they were supposed to do.
Just your thoughts on the level of athleticism that your team has. Again, I know you got a young man that played college football before kind of some vision impairments. It's a pretty impressive group you've put together.
Yeah, it was. We got some good guys that came in this year, and then we already had a lot of young talent that we've been working on for a while now. So it was luckily a lot of the young guys we picked up, man, they already have a lot of experience and are already veterans to this game. So they came in and gave their attitude and their positivity towards our players, and I think at this point it's really more just putting together the chemistry of everything. I think that's our biggest obstacle.
With that, we just had Nick on the show. Again, Nick led you in runs scored today with 5. What sort of role does Nick play on this team?
Best hitter in the league. all I got to say about that, best hitter in the league.
All right, so he said, hey, we're still working to improve. You've got about 6 or 7 weeks now before the World Series. Obviously, this is a great start this weekend. Where do you take it from here?
Honestly, training and just bonding, I think, is our biggest thing. Just keeping ourselves, together as a team and making sure that when we're in practice, we communicate and that we feel each other as a whole vibe, and we just kind of keep it together. I think that's our biggest obstacle at this point.
Kyle, congratulations. You guys were awfully impressive.
Thank you.
Best luck the rest of the season.
Appreciate it.
Again, Kyle Kennedy joining us. Again, pitcher and coach for the Indy Edge, the winners of the Indy Beep Ball Bonanza. Once again, Darnell Booker rejoins us now. Darnell, congratulations on another wonderful event. Your final thoughts on the weekend here at North Central High School.
Thank you, Greg. And like I said, it was a much successful weekend. Lots of great competition throughout the weekend. And like I said, we look forward to this each and every year. And the weather was outstanding. ISC was awesome coming in, being on board with us. And like I said, the Edge did what they were supposed to do. They were the favorite to come and win this tournament. So we look forward to a much successful rest of our regular season and leading into the World Series. And hopefully we will be back next year, and we will do this all over again.
Well, again, as far as the upcoming season is concerned, a lot of these teams will head up to Bolingbrook, Illinois, and they'll play coming up this weekend. Again, the World Series is in Beaumont, Texas at the end of July. For more information about beep ball, or particularly the Indy Thunder, where are some of the places online that folks should go to find out more?
They can go to nbba.org/teams, or they can go to Indy Thunder Beep Baseball on our Facebook page, and you can follow us on Twitter at Thunder Beep Ball on Twitter.
Darnell, you did a great job in your television broadcast debut this weekend. Look forward to letting you get back to the coaching ranks in the next few weeks. And once again, thanks for partnering with us here on the ISC Sports Network.
Thanks for having me.
Again, for Darnell Booker and our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. We wish you a wonderful rest of your Sunday. It has been our privilege to be here for a third time in 4 years for this Indy Beep Ball Bonanza. This time the championship belongs to the Indy Edge. They do so in dominating fashion. They beat the Atlanta Chaos by a score of 21-8. Thanks for joining us this weekend from North Central High School as you've been watching Beep Ball here on the ISC Sports Network.
I just graduated college as a blind student. How can I independently find job listings?
Thanks to the National Federation of the Blind, visually impaired Hoosiers can hear newspapers, circulars, and magazines from across the globe.
It is a fantastic service.
Learn more by calling 855-963-6476 or visit nfbnewsline-in.org.